little bit of a different video for this month's Roaster's Choice. I've popped out of the office for a couple of hours to field test the Aeropress XL, and I thought, what a location to talk about this month's coffee. I have woodpeckers firing off in the trees behind me. I have Dirtwater to my left and cat bells behind me. Kind of an idyllic setting, I'm sure you'll agree. So for this month's Roaster's Choice, we've gone to Mexico and a coffee called the Santuario Project. It's my particular choice, so obviously it's going to be a good one. And it's a fascinating coffee. It's an anaerobic fermented natural coffee. Basically, they're going to pick these cherries off the trees, and it's a very careful harvest. They're measuring the sugar content of those cherries to make sure that they've got as much sucrose in them as they can. They're then putting them into water for about 3 hours. In that 3-hour period, the skins of the cherries rehydrate. When they drain that water away, the kind of fermentation begins, and for about 26 hours, those cherries are going to ferment away, and a lot of that character is going to be passed on to the seeds or the beans inside. After those 26 hours, the cherries are laid out on raised beds and they're dried for around about 28 days. And that anaerobic fermentation and that drying method is going to hopefully bring loads of fruit punch to the cup. So I brewed this one earlier using the Aeropress, and the one thing that struck me when I grind this coffee is that fruitiness. It just absolutely kicks through in the beans, it comes through in the grinds, and it comes through in the cup itself. You can smell it even before you drink it. And we've brewed this a couple of ways, and what's been fascinating about today is the character of the coffee's changed slightly. This morning at the roastery, we did a filter brew, and it was just all about the tropical notes. We had this grapefruit tone to it all. I'm not going to say the flavour of grapefruit, I'm going to say the overall kind of character that you get when you eat a grapefruit. It's got a kind of freshness on the palate after eating a grapefruit. And there was also these wonderful, sweet, tropical notes kicking through the cup. Out here in the Aeropress, it's gone very berry-like in its character. I'm thinking berries, I'm thinking cherries in the cup. Either way, you need to expect a very, very fruit-forward, fruit-punchy coffee. And I've put on the bag tropical fruit, I've put on the bag cherries, and that's to kind of reflect the brewing method that you might use to brew this coffee. And on that note, if you do brew it, I'd love to hear from you. If you've got any thoughts, comments or questions about it. It's undoubtedly a really good coffee because I picked it, but aside from that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, I'm going to leave it there because I want to sit back and enjoy this wonderful view. Thanks for drinking our coffee.